Henry, and today we are here with another board game review. Today we'll be reviewing El Dorado, board game version of the movie.
Yeah, there have been many movies of El Dorado. This is not based on any particular movie, but anyway, today we will be telling you why you should play the Quest for El Dorado. It's a deck building race game. You're all explorers in the South American region, and you are all trying to.
You yourself don't even know where we are, do you?
No, we are all trying. Well, it's somewhere in South America. We don't know where El Dorado is, and that's what the game is about. That we have to all reach this last tile, which is the city of El Dorado, the city of gold, the lost city of Z. Many names there exist for this imaginative city which is all made of gold. So we are all explorers trying to find it. Now this game is, even though a race game, but it is heavily dependent on deck building as well. So this all-terrain tells you what paths you need to cross to reach the city of El Dorado. How you cross them is all up to the explorer themselves. This map is all made of different modular terrain which you can connect in any way you like, and the manual also comes with different kind of suggestions as well, that how you can mix and match different kind of maps. All of them are double-sided, so you can make easy terrain with smaller or some few modules, and then accordingly you will have a shorter game. You can have a big map for longer games as well. The game does support 2 to 4 players, so if you are playing with 2 players like we are showing the setup here, then you use 2 of your meeples, and you have to make sure that both of them reach El Dorado to win the game.
Which just makes it twice as harder.
Twice as harder, but because actually why you should have a lot of meeples, because once a meeple is on any space, no other person can actually come on that space. So he can essentially make blocking paths and stop someone else in the race as well. But at the same time, he has to reach the end as well. So if you see any easier route, you can put one of your meeples there and block someone else coming from behind. So there are things you can do in this game like that. Now, let's talk about the terrain. We have, Ishal, what kind of terrains we have on the map?
Alright, we only have 3 terrains. Thank you. We have the forest terrain, the water terrain, which is way different, and the desert terrain.
Yeah, so these terrains we have to cross, and for that every player will be starting with a similar deck of cards which they will shuffle and pick a handful of cards from this deck, and then these allow you different movement through those things. Now there will be some desert or gold coin cards which let you actually pay the tribes there. This just represents that tribes are there, and your wealthy merchants from your deck of cards can actually pay the tribes to let them move through the desert. Whereas the explorer has the green symbol on top, which means, and the number 1, yes, shows that he can cut the jungle and let you pass through one terrain of that type. Then we also have, everyone has one sailor type as well, which is the blue card with an oar symbol. So that sailor lets you cross one of the water tiles. And this is how you will be deciding, that you pick up a handful of cards and then decide how and where in front of you, adjacent to you, you are going to move. So using the 2, for example, the forest tiles, I may be able to move through, let me see, 2 of the forest tiles. But the deck building aspect comes especially with these yellow cards, because these are coins. Now you can of course use them to pay and cross the desert tiles or the tribe tiles, but it is also very important that you can use this, it's up to you, it's your option, you can use these as coins to buy better staff, better adventurers as well. So you are kind of hiring new people as well. The game comes with some standard stuff that is available as well as some advanced stuff. The advanced stuff or advanced cards will not be available to you until one of these spaces in the standard deck of cards becomes empty. As soon as one of these decks gets completely empty, then the next person who is going to buy something gets to choose which card from the advanced deck he wants, which is placed above this row. And then as soon as he selects that, okay, I'm going to take a captain, a sea captain, who lets me move 3 spaces through the water, then that deck becomes available for purchase. It moves down and that deck becomes available for everyone to purchase. So it's a very technical point in the game that how these advanced decks are handled, because the person, you have to be careful. Are you picking up the last card? Then that means the next person gets to choose what comes available in the market in the future. So you can handle those. You can decide even your normal cards, even if you don't have the gold coin cards in your hand, all other cards are worth half a coin. So you can discard 2 of your other not this one. You can discard any 2 of your other non-yellow cards, non-coin cards as a single coin as well. Both of them are half a coin. So it's up to you. This turn you want to move or you want to buy a better card. And this struggle will continue you throughout the game, that should I purchase a better card or make a run for it. Some players will start building their deck, but they will be left far behind, whereas other players have reached further ahead. And you have to make that balance, that how you actually balance your decks and balance running through the desert, running through the terrain to reach El Dorado. As I explained, yeah.
Now let's talk about some other tiles. As you might have noticed earlier, there are some tiles that have a symbol of a rounded rectangle with either this arrow or an X.
Yeah. So these gray ones, what does these gray ones means? Discard a card.
Discard any card to pass the terrain.
Yeah. So it can be anything. Doesn't have to be any particular type. But
However,
the red ones.
However, the red ones, you have to discard a card and
Trash a card.
Yeah, trash a card, and you'll never get it back. No more.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
So these red ones are camps where you can leave some of your weaker stuff. So that lets you actually make your cards more lean, your deck of cards more lean. That I have this one and I already have purchased better cards in my hand. So to keep getting better cards, you want the weaker cards to go away from your hand. So at that time, you can go to the camp. By going to the camp, you can discard one of your older, weaker stuff and make your deck of cards more leaner. And now you are sure that you will get better and better cards on every turn that will let you move through it. So as soon as there is this, mountains is a variant in the game, but I don't see the reason. The game is very simple, so I don't see a reason why you should not play with the mountains. The mountain terrain by default on the map is unpassable, impassable, and you cannot cross it. But with these terrain tiles, mountain tiles, as soon as someone comes in the adjacent vicinity of it, they get to pick it up, that tile. And that tile gives them a one-time bonus which they can use at any time, and these are random. Now, there are also at the edge of all of these, there is also a special terrain zigzag tile as well. And to cross this, at least one player who is crossing that path must pay the price of that terrain. So in this case, for example, they have to pay the gold coin to pass through. Some trains will let you just pass by paying any card. Some will require you water tile. These you will be collecting, and why you are collecting them is this is only this adds a hurdle or stops the player who is in the front to let the players who are coming from the back to catch up as well. So that's a very good mechanic, because the leading player has to pay an extra card to cross this, but once he pays, this gets removed, it's get added to his pocket, but it gives the other players a chance to move ahead in that turn without any difficulty. So it's a catch-up mechanic, but it also serves as a tiebreaker as well, because if on the same round everyone or two players reach El Dorado, then these decide whoever collected more of these or more value of these, there is a number on it which tells the value, more value of this, that breaks the tie that who was the winner of that game. So that's all there is in El Dorado. You are actually using your cards to cross the train. You're using the same cards to buy better cards so that you can cross the train more easier.
I wish all my cards to buy this.
But you cannot buy the higher ones until the market is clear of the weaker one, and then you can take from the higher ones. Like Prop Plane, Journalist, Compass, Millionaire, Travel Log, a very thematic game. The theme is very good. You're all racing through the jungle, trying to reach El Dorado, modular board. So very good, but very simple family weight game, which lets you learn the basics of deck building as well as have a race game. What I don't like about the game is these terrains. The artwork on these terrains make me feel like it's a very oldish 80s game, some video game.
Needs some more improvement.
War game type terrain, very basic
War?
tiles.
War, you
Yeah.
got war.
Yeah, war game terrain tiles are very much hexagonal like this with different colors patched up. That doesn't give a good look, but the cards, the artwork on these, the photographer, jack of all trades, the traveler, all of these cards have very beautiful artwork on them. So I do like that. But overall, the game is fun. So I will give it 7 out of 10. A very good family weight game, which you're going to have fun while playing. Okay.
Except like me.
Happy gaming!
Happy gaming!